kind of made to look like he's not doing much, which is obviously not true, but yeah, it's wild. Here we go. Heroic going to be on the T side, Navi on the CT side. We're starting on Inferno, so a big welcome, everyone. It's only day 2, but yeah, this is going to be one hell of a game. Simple is already looking down the middle with a P2000 in hand. That's interesting. We got double dualies as well. And Heroic are being uncharacteristically careful. They might have expected like a Navi rush down the middle. They were really worried there.
And Refresh was just standing there with the flash primed and ready to go over Banana as well if Navi tried to challenge there with 3 early. There was a trap laid by Heroic, but some real discipline getting shown here by Heroic, not willing to give anything away.
Bit with the flash in hand, it's going to have to be perfectly timed. If he's 1 second too late on that flashbang, then they're never going to get to use it. Tess is already with the opening. There comes the flash, and it doesn't matter. Shush will take him down anyway. They were blind, sure, but the Glocks, when there's 3 of them around the corner, then it doesn't really matter. Electronic here with the dualies. Wow. Woo. 1, 2, and Stown is gone. KDN, though, trying to bring him down, but Electronic is too much, and now he has the bomb up there as well. He's controlling it. Backup is being called for Electronic. A 3rd kill before they can finally bring him low, but that took way too long. He might have changed the outcome of this round. Bit and Simple, what a duo to be up against. They're going to try and go for the bomb plant right here, and the smoke will help them out a bit. He's walking in on the other side. Speaking of which, Shush is inside of the bomb site. He's picked up the dualies in the meantime. It's Simple. Hardly fired a shot so far in this round. He's been real quiet, just walking onto the bomb site now. Actually ducking under. This could be a really good position for him to be in. There's the headshot. Tessus will fall next. It's a slow end to the round, but none of it would have happened if not for Electronic.
Over in an instant. You can just see how fast these players are when it comes to trading. They know that they need to take a fight. There's a certain window there. As your teammate's taking it, you need to peek. And, well, of course, Bit is going to win out. But I love it, man. It just fits perfectly that you mentioned Electronic as one of the standout players on Navi. He literally just saved them in this pistol round. This pistol round should have been done and dusted. If Electronic doesn't get those 3 kills, Heroic are just going to run right out into that bomb site and get the bomb planted. And we're looking at Heroic winning the pistol round. Instead, Navi are the ones, once again, with the strong lead. Yeah. Nothing seems to slow these guys down. It's amazing.
Really, really well done. It's a good call from Heroic because they actually had isolated Electronic over there. They just weren't counting on him getting 3 kills like that. Heroic got the bomb plant, though, and they're going to be buying into this next round. AKs, a Scout, and a Deagle, so they are actually really well equipped. They're up against 3 MP9s, which on some of the maps maybe would have been a little bit of an issue, but I think on Inferno, it doesn't really matter. They're still going to be very dangerous. You can't really get a lot of range on this map, so you're going to be fighting those MP9s at medium or close range even, and that's a bit of an issue. Symbol playing slight off angle here, which Shush peeks into, but it's a decent trade. Even if KDN takes some damage, they're going to be all right with that.
Ooh. Double HE's top banana as well. A little bit of a giveaway. I love this. Salmon is watching for Boomich to peek for this info here. They're aware. I mean, the thing is that both of these teams will have done a tremendous amount of homework on each other and in terms of their tendencies, right? If you feel pressure, you try and go back to what you've built a habit around. You try to go back to what's worked for you in the past, and these teams are going to be aware of it. And it's one of the real challenges that the pro players face from day to day now is being able to change your game on the fly and stick with those changes so that you're not predictable.
Yeah. Look at how deep Tessus is towards the bomb site, and he's been waiting this whole time. He's going to be rewarded for that patience. Very, very smart. The rest of the Heroic team are playing around that position. They just want to make some noise and try and force whoever is there to rotate or come take a peek inside of the bomb site. Tessus, he was sitting there for a good 20 seconds, and the whole round from that point on was designed around that position. It's really cool. 3 versus 3 now. Very tricky or almost impossible after plant here for Navi, given the fact that they don't have any defuse kit right now. So I would say, yeah, save the M4s. It's maybe fine that Boomich goes down, but better to save the rifles and run out of there. So quick revenge for Heroic.
That's essentially it right there. Is they lead with Boomich because he's got the SMG. Electronic with 1 health. He just was not looking for a fight at that point. And if you can save both M4A1s going into the next round, Navi, you can still have a bye. It's not going to be pretty, but you can still be a threat. So, of course, Heroic know this. They're backing off, trying to check and see if they can find anybody hiding down in T-spawn. Not going to find anybody, and we're going to get into the thick of things here because Heroic, not taking it lying down, going for the force buy, and it works. Tied up 1-1 already here on Inferno. And really, this feels like, okay, let's say in terms of firepower, it feels like Heroic might be the team to go up against Navi, because Navi have 3 guys who are just insane right now, just popping off in every way. Simple, Electronic, and Bit. And then Perfecto and Boomich, they're still a threat as well. They still have their moments, but really, just in terms of sheer output, Navi have 3 heavy hitters, whereas Heroic can have 5 of them still.
Yeah.
Not hitting the same highs,
Probably not.
Where it flattens out across. They're a true Danish team. There's no nail that stands out on Heroic. Everybody gets the work done.
Yeah, and it's super dangerous. It means there's not going to be many moments where you're like, oh, it's a 2-on-2, but at least it's these 2 guys left. Like, well, it doesn't really matter for Heroic. They're all going to be doing a lot of work. So I agree. Difficult to play against. Bit and Simple, kind of running around over toward the library a little bit. Perfecto. Nice gap in the smoke here, and they're going to be running past. They kind of knew about that. Mac 10 will take care of him. Boomich on his own with the deagle. He needed that kill right away. Might have done some damage to Shush, but he really needed to get that kill right off the bat. Now, Simple just trying to no-scope his way through. Oh. Because it's Simple, you just think, maybe it'll work, because that's just what he does. 4-on-4 for the afterplant. Again, very unlikely that Navi can get in here with time enough to defuse, but if they only throw away the pistols, maybe it's all right. Just keep the M4 a little bit further back on Electronic, and they can still walk away with it. You can see that's kind of what they're trying to do. Lead with the pistols, try and clear some space, and now they realize, no, we're not going to get any easy afterplant kills here, so leave it alone, and Heroic will be on a 2nd round.
Okay, stop and make it out of here in time. It's gotten a little bit close, but yeah, he's going to be able to get out of here, and they will survive the round. Heroic just clearly ready for that peak with the edge of the smoke. That's the main thing, right? When you pick up on a detail like this, and we're going to get a little bit of a replay here in a moment, as they realize right on the edge, Shush is there for the instant trade.
There we go, boys. Good start.
There we go.
Is an easy translation. Yeah, it is a good start. He's not wrong.
I just love the style when we have teams that actually go for that, where they just gather up at top. They gather up all together, and then they just sit and wait. And if there's an opportunity, it happens so fast. Heroic can just explode onto the bomb site immediately if there's the chance. And if not, they've got top banana control, and they can just fall back and start gaining control elsewhere on the map. So it is a win-win sort of scenario for Heroic in that perspective, and I really like to see it. Makes them so dangerous.
Yeah, they're also not a team that's really suffering from some of that hesitation that we sometimes see on other teams, where a call is made, but you don't really quite follow through on it, and then you go back and you reconsider. They seem to really follow through on whatever is being said by Katie, and most of the time. So I feel like that's a huge strength all on its own. They still have that 1 M4 in play on the Navi side. They managed to save it, the scout as well. But otherwise, it's a somewhat of a pedestrian round coming up from them here in the 4th round. Could be a chance for Heroic. I mean, they could get all the way up to 3-1 here, and that'd be a really solid beginning. They are about to walk into a stack, which is a bit concerning.
Oh, maybe getting a bit ahead of themselves here, because again, this is where it can work against you if you group up too much. You're giving up so much room on the rest of the map. Shush eliminates Electronic immediately. That's the M4 down.
Yeah, huge. Also, nice grenade to counter with. Perfecto manages to find that, but now it's just the pistols that are left. Trying to still go for the no-scopes. He's actually done a lot of damage. 3 of them are sub 20 health at the end of the round there, but Heroic will find that 3-1 lead. And this is going to feel great for them. Even this next round for Navi is not really a great buy at all. So they are actually, I wouldn't say they're in trouble, Navi, but they're off to a bit of a rocky start.
Does Bit have a stuffed plushie of a goat in front of him there?
It's possible.
It looks like he's got a plushie of a goat, which, I mean, fair enough. He's still young. He can catch up with Simple. Simple's there to lead the way, but, Bit, I like the goals. Set him high.
I know, yeah, he's got something to look forward to. I will say catching up to Simple is... that's a long road right now. Long road ahead. Simple's going to be falling back. Speaking of which, they're trying to hunt him down. Electronic there with a perfect spray. Even halfway flashed on that 2nd kill, and it doesn't really matter. Falling back, and he didn't even get a chance to reload. He's like, you know what? I'm probably not going to make it out of here, so I'm just going to go all in. Simple. I think they saw him running back and go towards Arch, and then in the chaos, he sneaks back into that ninja corner, and suddenly they don't expect it. So, yeah, a lot of tricks in Electronic. Saving Simple. He was about to be run down there. Great stuff.
Oh, I mean, Electronic was instrumental in the 1 round win that Navi have so far. That was in the pistol where he got a triple. Here he gets that double kill and even gets a little bit more information to go along with it. So just doing so much for his team. Boomich had the angle already, even blind. And that is going to be a rock-solid round for Navi. Just one of those rounds, though, for Heroic, I think you kind of have to just shake off because, again, it's individual play here that's making a lot of difference for Navi with Electronic holding that close and getting 2 kills. He's not supposed to be able to get 2 kills like that. It's just that, you know, Electronic doing Electronic things.
Yeah, and, you know, maybe slightly different timing on the flashbang, and yeah, it's hard to say. They had the right idea in terms of catching Simple. They understood how he was going to play the early part of that round. They probably could have swung the corner with 2 people and maybe traded him, and it would have been fine. But so yeah, I agree. Just shake it off and keep going. It's a bit of a shame that they donated 3 AKs though to the side of Navi. That's probably the part that hurts more because, you know, if it's just about losing the round, that's one thing, but that does give them a bit of a jump start on the economy.
Indeed. And now they are going to be sitting back here, Heroic. It is worth keeping in mind that Electronic spends 90% of his time in pit. And so Heroic, you know, they may be playing that aggro on Simple just because they're expecting Electronic to be back in apartments, back in pit, nowhere near short the way he was. So Electronic with a good read, whether it was fortunate or not, it all worked out for Navi in that last round. And now Heroic can go for a little bit of a later take on Banana if they want. They're setting up for some pressure on short. Tess is taking a peek from Boiler with the help of his teammate. So just getting a little bit of info here in mid, and now we will get Heroic moving over towards that B side of the map.
Yeah, they were running back and forth and picking up nades and T-spawn for a while there, so they had their fun with that. That counter nade actually is really good. That's impressive. Cadian, though, open up the round. Yeah, much better than the HE for sure. Taking down Boomich. And it leaves Perfecto back at the bomb site here on his own. Simple. Through the smoke, of course, to take down Shush. And now the question is, how long can Perfecto stay alive? If he gets a kill, that's a big benefit. Long enough for Simple to run through the smoke and get a double kill. And that's the round almost over with. Refresh is across the map. He does not have time for this. The problem is it's going to take him about 15, 16 seconds to even get there. And then he still has to fight them and find the bomb. Very, very unlikely that he can actually do anything here. I don't see it. Yeah. Better to walk away. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's a wild round from Simple. Obviously, the first kill for the smoke is, you know, you can't be guaranteed of doing that. But Perfecto bought time by staying alive, and Simple was not going to let that go to waste.
No, he did terrific work, that off timing, essentially. Just not expecting to be a flash push through. This is Cadian opening up the B site, but Simple showing up, just spray through the smoke. This is what's so dangerous about these M4A1s now. Why all the pros go for them. Not only do you not see tracers, you can just, but that's the main thing, you don't see tracers. You can just hold down mouse 1 through those smokes and not really worry about getting returned on in any way.
And he was flashed through by Bit. You could see the flashes is there at the end. So they had a bit of a setup. Really great defense. That's going to tie it up 3-3. Move into the 7th round. It's, I mean, yeah, it's a good start for both teams, really. There's not much to say. We'll have to be decided a little bit later on who's going to be winning this first half. It's, especially in terms of the economy as well, it's hard to say right now. No one is super rich. That's probably going to be the deciding difference.
No, yeah, this is where it's a bit of a painful one for Heroic. They would have loved to have held on. If Refresh could have held on to that AWP, could have found a way to get that and save it for the next round, that could have been interesting. Instead, now it's going to be a bit of a mixed buy on Heroic's side. Well, this can just be a return over to that second round where they managed to make a force buy work that time. But this, look at Navi's buy. They've got everything they need. And Simple, aggro peek in a mid, no fear whatsoever. And hanging around as well. That flash in the second mid is, yeah, his signal to say, okay, maybe hold on, I need to play this just a little bit more passively.
Think of how many hundreds or thousands of times you have to play that position to just know on your spine, you just know how long can I be here? When does it become dangerous? Yeah, he's done that so much. They're going to start to fall back. No presence at top banana for Navi and none at top mid either. This is one of my least favorite CT setups. Not that it can never work, but I just think this is so dangerous. So we'll see if it's going to backfire. It looks like it's going to be an explosion coming out of the A apartments, which actually could work out pretty well for Navi. Electronic, you mentioned it earlier, he's a pit player and he's one of the best in the world at playing this position. And especially with Bit as a backup there, they're going to completely chew that apart. The bomb even falls forward. Not that it necessarily matters, but it's been lost down in the pit as well. Heroic probably gambling in this round that it was going to be more of a double arch and solo pit setup, and it absolutely was. There's a huge crossfire that just locked that down.
Yeah, you got to give it to Bit. If you give him the chance, he's going to just smash you. Double kill for him in this round. Stalin trying to work his way up here. And there isn't a whole lot that you can hope to do because this is one of those rounds where, again, you just go for a fixed set strategy. It gets snuffed. You're in a 2v5 now, and the only way you're going to win out in this situation is whether Navi start making mistakes. Electronic with the peek. There you go. You'll get the trades, right, but you're not going to win the round with 10 seconds left on the clock.
No, better to save the AK, unfortunately, and no bomb plant here either. So Navi just kind of getting control of the early part of this half again. Now, going to be up 4-3 as we move into the 8th round.
It's kind of the worst case scenario as well that it's Cadian that survives. Because Navi doesn't get any money towards that AWP if he wants it again on the T side. You get no money if you survive the round on the T side.
True.
If time ticks down and you're still alive, you get no money. So it's a bit of a brutal gamble. We'll have a Soviet AK for Cadian, and we'll get to see what he can do with it here if he's going to just try and barrel forward and take point. But the rest of his team, yeah, going into second mid, so he's not even taking point. He's just going to be with the group.
Yeah, someone else can pick it up if anything happens, right? Just try
That's the idea.
Keep it alive, yeah, for as long as you can. Oh, Tessus has managed to sneak his way through. Could be a surprise if he kept going. Sometimes if you beat some of those timings, the defending team just won't be fully aware of it. So, can be fun to see. But he's stuck in the hallway for now. They have a couple of flashbangs, so they could set up a bit of an explosion towards middle. Again, Navi are playing it fairly passively on the A side. They've got Boomich out on Banana, which I just much prefer from the setup in the last round. Even if he can get flashback like that, still think it's a good idea.
A bit of a change-up, actually. We haven't seen this yet from Heroic. Wrap through Arch. Staven doesn't want to hang around too much. He's the one with the bomb. He's kind of hoping for his teammates to get some information here, but no rotators caught out by Navi. In fact, Perfecto playing mega passively.
Perfecto, if he can get traded, there's an opening, but Boomich comes in, and this is working out so well. Tessus went down on the other side. He just had a Glock, unfortunately, but he was trying to catch people rotating out of the pit. I think that was part of the strategy there, was to put enough pressure on construction so that the players in A would rotate out and Tessus could catch one of them. But there's not that much pressure put on when everyone dies to Boomich and Perfecto, so it kind of doesn't matter. There's a little sneak in there. That's a potentially a sneaky play, right?
It's just right now they're hoping to catch rotators out, and it's just not happening for Heroic. But Heroic, I mean, these last 4 rounds for Navi have been pretty solid. They've kept a lot of players alive.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to get that bank going on this side, and Heroic are struggling to get the bomb planted. So contrary to the beginning of this half, oh, Simple is caught. Can he get out of here? No way does he survive this. No, and he still gets the shot. Get out of here.
That is criminal, isn't it? He should definitely have been dead in that moment. That is, if they just keep spraying through that little wooden panel up there by the car, he's dead every single time. Yeah, they just weren't expecting him to stick around, and he's back for more.
He's so fast.
He really is. Double kill. Oh, this is heartbreaking. It's even more heartbreaking because Heroic won't know it yet, but obviously when they go and watch the VOD, eventually they're going to realize, oh, no, we actually probably had him, and then Tessus would have still been alive as well. Refresh trying to push through, forced to by the Molotov. It's interesting. I mean, he has time to work this part of the map. If his teammates wait and don't die out here, Refresh could actually open this up for the team. Boomich going to come charging back, and he'll be found, but I bet they would have loved for that to have been Simple instead, because that means he's still alive, and nobody likes hearing that. Maybe they've got him sandwiched in, though. Perfecto also back of it. They bump into each other. Knives out inside of the smoke. Yeah, he's past him, and he just walks out, shoots him in the back. He is just such a cerebral player. You can never, ever cheat him out of anything. Cadian goes down to Simple. It's a quad kill at the end of it, and Navi, they are locking down this first half now.
Oh, that's so amazing. Of course, Simple knows. He just realizes, wait, I should be through the smoke already. Yep. What is going on? There's nothing in my way. It's only smoke. I should be through this. And for him to realize and immediately peek right behind Refresh, it's so brutal. This round is all about Simple. And you can see how they just bump into each other. And Simple realizes immediately. He's like, hold on. That's not supposed to happen. That's so cool.
What a replay that is, by the way.
Thank you very much, Blast. Oh, I mean, Blast, they just nail everything, don't they?
Yeah, that's a perfect view to explain exactly what was going on there. Some slight signs of worry for Heroic, but who can blame them? This is just a Navi experience right now. It's so unreasonable. Simple is all the way at top there, but there's no weak link right now. Where do you go to feel comfortable? I suppose really by stats alone you'd have to say Boomich and Perfecto over at B, but the problem is holding that B bomb site's really tricky, and as you saw in this round, half the time Simple could be there too, so you don't even know.
And who else? Simple does have the freedom to move around. You know, Maniac was talking about that going into this match where, you know, on certain maps, certain players seem to have a bit more leeway to do what they want. Bit on Overpass is one of them where he gets to really just kind of roam around. On Inferno, with that AWPer, you want Simple to just be unpredictable. He can be on Apartments one round. He can be at Arch. He can be in B. You don't know where he's going to be, and that's the real threat, because he's just, if you give him a chance, he's not going to miss the shot. So Heroic right now, they were just walking on eggshells the entire time. You're just trying to figure out, okay, can we figure out where Simple is without dying first? And then how do we approach it from there? So incredible pressure right now on the Heroic players. They're not managing to get bomb plants, so their economy is not really taking off. They've gone for a Soviet AK again here on Shush. So just solo AK, everybody with him, and see what you can get done with this rifle.
I think what you're saying is key, because you can figure out where Simple is, but it's the without dying part that's really critical. That
It's a little asterisk, you know?
last part of the sentence is real important. You know?
Yeah, that's he's the raid boss right now. It's so hard to deal with it. And then you think, okay, cool, yeah, great, we killed Simple. Then you still have to deal with Electronic and Bit. So that's just the true power of Navi right now. Why they're such a formidable opponent is the talent on this team just goes so deep now.
A little bit of a chance there, but again, it goes to show, even if he doesn't get that kill, that if you're trying to map out where is Simple at the beginning of the round, it's just a new position every time, and every time he takes a shot, he's going to move somewhere else. It's very hard to predict for Heroic where to use the nades to try and get rid of him. Good flashes. He's got some backup here, though, and not just any backup.
Hold the line.
Yeah, really good stuff, right? That's the weakness, obviously, of the AWP, is if you miss one of those shots at close range, but the rifle will make up for it. Good round. Nobody goes down on Navi. It's 7-3 in their favor. They have now won 6 in a row, and none of them have been bomb plants for Heroic. They've had 0 bomb plants.
They've gotten 6 kills Heroic in the last 6 rounds.
Oh no.
So yeah, you're kind of missing out a little bit on what you need to get done here. If you're losing rounds, at least get kills so that the CT side is low on economy, so that when you win the round, Navi will be under pressure and they won't have that much to be able to rebuy with. Right now, Navi, they full buy everything they could possibly want, and they still have 3 players with more than 10,000 in the bank. So loads of money. This is basically Heroic just having the hardest first half now possible.
They had 4 people at the B bomb site in the beginning, Navi, which is, it's sort of a cheat you could do on this map, and people do it a lot because the chances that the T side will rush top mid immediately is very low. So you can get away with it. You can drop piles of nades. You can be ready if they rush B, which is way more likely. So yeah, it's a bit. It looks crazy when you look at the minimap, but in reality, maybe not so much.
No, and right now, okay, we're looking to Cadian to find an opening duel here. He needs to catch somebody out with this AWP. Ready for the likely angle if the peek comes, but there's a jiggle peek happening. Oh, and he does get the tag, but it's through the metal. That's so unfortunate for Cadian. He hits that shot.
Yeah, that actually definitely could have been a kill. And looked like Perfecto either didn't see him the first time or was trying to bait out the shot, but regardless, that looked scary. If he would have gone down, Boomich would have been entirely on his own. We're back to that same setup that I mentioned earlier that I didn't really like, which is them being really, really far back. It just feels like you're going to have very late warning for what's coming. Boomich has got no more nades. Perfecto, he's got a single Molotov that he just managed to put out there to try and buy some time. Wait, did that just go up? Where did the Molotov go? I need to replay that. I'm actually so confused.
It disappeared.
Did it land in construction? All right. Well, Perfecto and Boomich are now entirely on their own with no nades whatsoever, and a nice shot coming through again. That's putting pressure on. Perfecto goes down, and a nade lands at the back to blow up Boomich. It's now with 5 seconds left. He's trying for it. If he would have hit that shot, they would have won the round, Navi. Simple. He's just, in every second, he's trying to optimize it. Now, Refresh is in there for the flank. Bit, I don't know how he sees that coming, but he does. That's an insane read. And they're going to get Katie in as well. Now the retake is on. It was a 4-on-3, now into a 2-on-3. Shushin's down. They have to win this round. This might be one of the few chances that Heroic have had in the last 7-6 rounds to actually do something. They must win it. Stown back here already being put under pressure. He's trying to just stay hidden. Shush will get a kill with a deagle, but he's trying to reload, and they're coming for him. And it's straight on the defuse. They're going to have it as well. It's going to be 8 on the board for Navi. An absolutely perfect retake.
An utterly brutal loss for Heroic. They finally succeed in getting a bomb planted, but again, this is preparation from Navi. Notice that it just banked off the top, off the side.
It hits the scaffolding somehow.
It just barely catches an edge there. So imperfect lineup gets it done. But Blade and one thing you'll notice is that when you see this team setting up at the beginning of a match, Blade and Boomich have both got a stack of papers in front of them, and you know that their analysts are just figuring out every little detail of what their opponents are about. They're definitely one of the teams that come into matches the most prepared for things just like that. So when you say, how does Blit know that Refresh is out here? There's probably some alarm bell going off where they're saying, hold on, in this situation, Refresh tends to be in this position X number of times, right? And so Bit is just checking. He's being thorough. He's like, okay, let's make sure that that's not a possibility here, and we'll have a better idea of where their lurk is on the map.
It's just, it's such a, again, we bring it up a lot. It's such a veteran play for someone who is,
Indeed,
still kind of new to the game in some sense. Big opportunity there. Maybe could have fought simple. He's just like, I'm going to, all right, missed the shot. I'll just bring up the pistol instead. Now he's finally going to get caught. That is a big opening. The Heroic needed to win the last round. They definitely need to win this one as well. And KDM will find a second one. And they have so much time. This is a must-win round again for Heroic. Repeating myself, but it's true every single time here. They have to win rounds where they have starts like this.
Fascinating. Electronic misses that as well. Bit with a late swing. Gonna find one. He needs to do tremendous work, and they lined up for him. There was a chance. In fact, yes, Shush takes Cadian, so a team kill.
All right.
But Perfecto now going to be left all by his lonesome, and I'm thinking he's going to be trying to just survive this round. He's one of the poorer members on Navi with only 8,000 in the bank, so he really should be managing that economy a little bit.
Yeah, he isn't throw it around. It's almost 14,000 electronic. Yeah.
So Navi are filthy rich right now. So this will be Heroic's first round in a long time, in 7 rounds.
Yeah.
So they can feel good about themselves here. There's a chance to save this half. It's not done yet. They had a really strong start, but it is now time for them to start getting some damage on the board here.
There's still time for it too. This is not over yet. They can, if they can get up to, I think even like 6 rounds here in the first half, then they've got the numbers to stay competitive into the second half. It's just that if they got stuck at 3 or 4 or something like that, it would probably be real tricky to accomplish. The money though is a big issue, like we talked about. I think you mentioned in that 6-round streak, Heroic got 6 kills or something like that. That's not enough, right? That's not putting enough pressure on Navi.
Not at all. One thing that helps, though, is that they've actually got opening kills in the past couple of rounds. So when they get that man advantage, all of a sudden Heroic know how to work it, or at least they've fared well in the past couple of rounds, that they've managed to get close. Last round they won. So let's see if they can actually get that opening duel again this time against Navi and work from there. Because that's one of the hallmarks of these elite tier teams, is that when they get the man advantage, they almost always win. It's the exception to give up the advantage in the round once you have it. Well, speaking of, nice combination of nades and banana. Perfecto with the flash. Boomich takes Cadian, and there's a man advantage for Navi.
Oh, big chance here for a refrag, though. Normally, you'd have a teammate here to help you out, so you'd have 2 people in the hallway, but Simple's just there on his own, trusting in his speed with the AWP, and they just barely miss him. Maybe Refresh could have found him there, but he just turns back and takes down Tessus instead, so now it's a 2-on-5.
It's like he has Spidey sense or something. I guarantee you another player might even go for that peek, but Simple's like, wait, no. I will not go for the peek into apartments. Instead, we will just set it up. Nicely done, though. Refresh taking Electronic's head off, but Bit there with the instant trade. Stalin, the last man alive here for Heroic. Bomb is dropped in an impossible spot, and he's just walking into a stack on this A site. So it was a short-lived victory there for Heroic.
Oh, the gun barrel actually might have been showing there, but Stown probably had a lot of things to consider. In 9 rounds now for Navi. I think you're right, though. I mean, that's what it feels like. And I mean, that's probably how it feels for Simple, too, right? I mean, he probably couldn't, unless you pause the game, he probably couldn't explain half the time exactly why he's doing what he's doing. It's like he's just got it. Makes his own luck half the time, because that's just what happens when you play that well.
It helps to have Electronic on your flank. I mean, Electronic just locking that portion of the map down. Heroic, it feels like they've almost had more success just going arch. So I wonder if they're going to figure that out and just head back over towards that, you know, trying to catch somebody out in the middle of the rotation for Navi.
Oh!
Or come up with a really clever boost. That was cool. Boomich no longer has a head, and Tessus with 2 kills.
Nice. This is a good display from Heroic. This is what we sort of led off with saying, that actually they have an incredible amount of firepower, and we just haven't seen it so much in the middle of this half, but now, yeah, that's the kind of opening that they should be able to get at least some of the time. Big double, but unfortunately, Perfecto and Simple are at the bomb site, so in spite of the fact that they've already got 2 kills on the side, and now they realize they might, or at least it looked like they did.
Double pump?
Really?
Very cool. Caden and Refresh now rotating over, stomping, making noise. This might be too much of a sell, though. Electronic, is he going to bite?
He's going to go for it. He's only going to win the one fight. If he would have got both, it would have been unreal. Still 55 seconds here. And I wonder if Cadian realized no one else is there. Perfecto's going to get traded. It's just Simple on his own. 1 versus 3. But they don't know that he's back here. He could very likely instantly make this a 1-on-2. And then let's see what happens. There's the 1 kill. He swings to try and check out who else is there. And Shush will take him down. That is kind of scary. I would have said there's like a 50-50 chance he just wins that round. If there had been less time on the clock, it would have been even scarier for Heroic, right? But they had about 50 seconds, so they could have maybe even ran at the end. It's a 5th round, though.
This is the must-win duel here for Cadian, taking Electronic. But at the same time, Electronic spots only 2 players there, right? So him only seeing the 2 players, that's why I think you see Simple and Perfecto kind of hanging around on B and not insta-rotating to A. It's because he's telling his teammates, hey, I haven't seen the bomb, and I've only seen 2 guys. So, and they stomped up here. Something's fishy. So makes you wonder, but it was still not that many players surviving for Heroic. It's not like they have oodles of cash, so we'll see what they can do with the buy round here. Whereas Navi, of course, filthy rich, they'll have everything they need going into the last round. So we could very well get double digits here for Navi on a CT side of Inferno, which isn't something we see very often these days. It's actually it feels like it's more rare to see a CT dominant half, given how the economy works, how the T side is a little bit more favored, let's say, on these maps now. You get 9-6, 8-7 way more often than not.
Yeah, this really is a strong beginning for them, and it looked like for a while there that Heroic were just gonna speed off with the early part of the half, but didn't actually turn out that way. Huge surprise for anyone walking into the A apartments here. That's a very, very narrow angle to be holding. Could only keep it up as long as the smoke is in the middle, so eventually he's gonna back on out. But I like this from Navi. Again, that's just a little bit of early mid presence, just to be there. They're gonna start to fall back a bit more and gravitate towards the B bomb site, and that pulls a bit towards Library instead. So really now Electronic is very much alone. If Heroic wanted to go for one of those apartments explosions like they tried earlier, this would be the round to do it in. But they don't know that. So right now, setting up. Nice turnaround. Didn't get flashed at all. I feel like that flashbang was like a centimeter short.
Yeah, not even close. Well, it's one that I think that goes off if the guy's holding it half wall.
Could well be, yeah.
So if you're not, if you're just that extra step forward, a little bit of an off angle like that, here we go.
Molotov, that's actually great. Down in the pit as well. This is just a 2-man defense, but it's working really well at the moment. Last bullet for Electronic. He's going to get the kill. He's out with the pistol now. 5-7 down in the pit, and they finally managed to break open the bomb site and get the bomb plant, but that is terrifying. The fact that they got the smoke, they got the Molotov up in the apartments, and they had the crossfire, they could have almost won the round right then with just 2 against 5. Now, again, Heroic, they've built themselves nicely. They can get that 6th round, and it is mega important that they do it. Simple and Perfecto going for the retake, of course, in the 15th round. Cadian, a little bit early, baited into the shot. Simple, he's giving up on the AWP life. He's going with the Deagle instead, and they're going to find a way to take him down. Perfecto will get traded, and it's 9-6 at the end of the half in favor of Navi, but a good little comeback at the end for Heroic. We'll see if they can continue that into the second half. It's coming up after the break. And we're back once again. It's Navi versus Heroic. Second half is coming up. We're on Inferno. It's 9-6 in favor of Navi right now. If you're just joining us, then you missed out on an explosive first half, but there's way, way more to come. I've got to say, Heroic were on the verge of getting swept off of this map already, but they kind of held on. They had that grip.
They managed to isolate Simple in a couple of those key rounds, and I think that's the main thing, where especially the round where they started to get the ball rolling for themselves, where they put 3 together, they managed to isolate Simple, get that kill, and that's kind of what we were building on, where if you can't find that guy, if you can't get rid of him, you know, figure out where he is, survive figuring out where he is, and then go from there. Well, they went one step further and actually killed him, and that opened up a lot of options for Heroic. So 9-6 now. This is actually a decent score where if Heroic can win this pistol round, they can get off to a strong start in the second half.
Yeah, odds looking even worse, unfortunately, for Heroic, but it's to be expected given the way that Navi started. Stavn up here, top banana. He's going to fall back, but he has to come back for more because his teammate is still here. Cadian with a great headshot, and they've got 3 people lined up and ready. The USP will do its job, and Simple, he goes down. That is a nice kill to begin with. Electronic, though, he's going to find Shush, and that means they're almost a sort of 99% one round in that 2-on-4. Now it's open again, and they could bring it back. Jumping Glocks, not what we want to see, but they're trying to get into the bomb site, try and get that bomb planted right away. In fact, they just ignore everything else. All right, Boomich staying on objective. I guess at least he got the bomb plant. That is actually pretty cool. And now Electronic coming in for the flank. They do not have a kit currently picked up, so 10-second defuse, 1 versus 3. He's shooting him in the back, but missing the headshot, unfortunately, and it will be Heroic to pick up the pistol round.
He gets the kill on Cadian. It just took 2 clicks too long. One of them, I mean, it's a 1-on-2 at that point. One of the players is sticking the bomb defuse. So in that moment, there's a chance for Electronic. But this setup, Stavn coming back in there for the headshot, makes all the difference. What a hero play from him. If there was one kill that saves the round, it's pretty much that one.
It is, and it's actually like a pretty deep setup that they have out there, because obviously they got a double setup at Banana, but one of them is just you peek, you fall back, there's a flash coming from inside of the bomb site, and then we go back and find it again. So it's got like at least 3 layers to it in that 3-man setup at top Banana. It's really cool to see. Interesting stuff. And it's a bit of a gamble on CT side Inferno, exactly where you put everyone, right? You can easily be in a position where you just have one person in B for the A bomb site, and maybe that round blows up in Heroic's faces. But they did something. Now, Boomich got the bomb plant down, so they're pretty well equipped in this round. Navi looking to steal it back from the Danes right away.
Oh, and already, I mean, it's exactly what Heroic did to them in the first half. So obviously Navi are hoping to do the same and stop Heroic from running away after they get that pistol round. Taking their time in true Navi fashion. This is one of the strengths of Navi, in particular on this map, is that they are able to work the map, different parts of the map simultaneously. They have so much firepower on this team. It's not like they have to wait for one guy to rotate over. It's like clear-cut rolls. Everybody can do work here. Oh, he spots the boost setup as well. Electronic, 1-for-1 trade. This still favors Navi.
Yes, it does. That could have gone horribly wrong. Nice little return here from Refresh. Good double. He will eventually get taken down, but that M4A1, again, is so hard to know where you're getting shot from exactly. Perfecto is almost at the site with the bomb. Bit making his way down into the pit, but Cadian spun around just in time. That's a critical find. Pre-fire from Perfecto. That's a cool idea, but now he's to get overwhelmed. Stavn will show up for the spray through the box, and Heroic, they will survive probably the first point of danger there. I'm hearing wild screams coming out from the Heroic camp.
I love it.
I
love it. They're close enough as well. There's no team in between them right now. It's too early before the others are going to show up. So right now, it's pretty much those two teams in a room together. And so if they start howling like that, your opponents are going to hear it, and that's exactly what Heroic need to be doing. Simple getting a mite bit frustrated here.
Yeah. I mean, again, we hyped up this game, and I think so far we've not been wrong. It's 8-9. I still think the danger is not at all over when it comes to Heroic here. Like, they still need to hold tight and keep it going, but they have a chance here to actually get a bit of an economy going. Not when they go down like that to bit, unfortunately, but the point remains. They should be able to lock this round down. They should be able to tie it up 9-9, and then let's see what happens from there. All right.
What do they have in mind? I mean, I love this call from Heroic where they just decide to group up and gather. So it's a bit of a gamble on Heroic's side, but with the superior firepower that they have, if they can just smash them, they were hoping that Navi were just going to try and follow up on this. And instead now, a little bit of hesitation. Stavin rotating back over to close the door on B. Make sure that nobody can get across. There was a window of timing there for Navi to cross to the B site. He doesn't know that, though. And so he needs to play as if the B site has not been broken open just yet.
That's very interesting that he's playing that far back. I mean, that's sort of signaling to the rest of us that they are pretty confident that if this is a B execute, Stavin can maybe get 1 kill, and then they can go for a retake with the rifles and win that retake. So... Smoke, that's actually incredible timing. Just as they were setting up, and it's 30 seconds, so that means there's going to be, you know, what, like, basically 15 seconds by the time they can make their way through unless they want to pop through. That's pretty tough.
At this point, you're toast. Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds left. You are done. Stavin's going to be able to spray through this as well. He's got an M4A1, yep. And, oh, it's an imperfect smoke. He's got a gap to work with. This is murder! No way do Navi get across here. Do they get a bomb plant out of this? That should not be allowed.
They will. And a kill on Stavin as well. I've got to say, that's upsetting to see the fact that the smoke wasn't covering everything, because otherwise maybe he still gets a kill, but not the triple that he picked up at the end there. Heroic, they're going to make it to 9-9. Bit of a shame for Navi, but I guess Heroic also kind of, that's a sign of confidence for me that they were actually playing off the bomb side in that moment. That sort of suggests, all right, you know, we're fine with the bomb going down. We're gonna find a way to win anyway, so not a bad idea.
It's just outrageous that Stavin is still hanging around here with a gap in that smoke like that, just getting these kills. Little bit of frustration getting shown. I'm actually kind of surprised considering it's still early days here.
Yeah,
for Navi. So showing that much emotion on the side of Navi 3 rounds into a half.
Deep breaths.
Kind of exactly. Deep breaths here. And it's a good time for Blade to call the timeout as well. So what makes me wonder is whether or not they are going according to plan or if they're trying to go off script a little bit here live in the server, and Blade is trying to rein them back in again and say, hey, listen, this is the game plan. You're going to execute this round now, and stop getting in your heads. Just focus on what we've practiced.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, when you see your players kind of like, you know, holding their foreheads and doing the facepalm thing, it's usually a good time to take a timeout and just calm everyone down before things get out of control. 19th round, and they have plenty of weapons to fight with on the Navi side. On the Rogue side, too, obviously, they've stolen the single AK. Could be really fun. And a big setup at the B-bomb side to start with, leaving Refresh and Shush a little bit lonesome, maybe at the beginning. Yeah, this is a risk. I mean, Arch is a position that Heroic just are not covering right now. Which, I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. I think this is slightly risky. If I was having 3 people and be like this, I'd probably prefer to have, you know, especially the AWP playing just a little bit further forward. But you can see how this trick can work out from Heroic's point of view. If Navi go for B, they're probably not going to be expecting for Stavin to be all the way at the back of the bomb side once they've run into Tessus and Cadian. So there is a cool trick here. It looks like Navi, though, are making a really good call.
They've really figured out exactly where they want to go because they got that banana control early. Now they've committed over towards the A side of things. 50 seconds on the clock, and they're developing that control further. This is going to turn into the full-fledged wrap. And oh, Electronic deletes Shush. Instant death.
What a grotesque way to open the A-bomb side. Refresh is now alone and probably shots another instant tap. I look forward to this replay. That is... Okay. It's like, listen, I said earlier, I was talking about this in the green room. I had a math teacher in high school, and she could draw, you know, perfect circles on the blackboard. And that was like it's just a display of perfection that's kind of scary. Okay. It's a little bit like this, where you're like, you just do it like this, and it's like, get out, you know? It sends such a powerful message, doesn't it?
I actually like this one more than... BlameF had a similar one yesterday, opening overpass. On against Nip, you know, where he just whips across and just one-taps this guy at the barrels on the side. You're like, okay, that was pretty spicy. That was pretty sick, BlameF, but that was kind of like a panic one, you know? It was like a little bit of luck involved there. That just felt like Electronic was like, that's the angle, and now you're dead. Yeah. It was all intentional. There was no craziness there from Electronic. That was sick.
Yeah, if you're holding the pit like that, if you're a Shush, you're like, oh, I just actually didn't even have a chance. I can't even fight this, you know? so unreasonable. But again, another incredible display. This is also why this game is, or this particular match is kind of designed to be this good.
Yes. And why we should all be very grateful today here. It's Thanksgiving. We should all be grateful. It's an opportunity to take a moment, guys.
True.
But we also get rewarded with just a wonderful match of CS. Heroic, Navi, 2 of the very best in the world right now, going toe-to-toe in a best-of-3 here at Blast. Come on. This is so good.
I've never made turkey at home, I realize.
Anders.
Duck and chicken, but never turkey. I should get on that.
We will fix that one of these days, man.
I'll make up for it, I promise. Bit, trade it for refresh. Probably, but a lot of damage actually onto electronic. So maybe Heroic are not that upset with the situation here. Shush and Cadian. I actually love this play. If you're going to be playing 2B, 2A, I don't mind it if they're playing this far forward, because at least then, you know, either they get completely missed the entire Navi team because they're pushing Arch again, and then they can be part of the retake, or they probably have a pretty good fight up in the hallways there with two people set up like that. So I feel like this is a pretty reasonable setup if you're going to be doing the 2-2 split. In terms of nades, still smoke left on Tessus, and Cadian has more, but he's all the way across the map. So it's really going to be that smoke for Tessus. That'll be the test here, and he needs to hold it for a while.
Ooh, yeah, he's playing that game of jiggle peeking where he's just going to hope to be able to spot somebody out. This is a common way to hold this angle, but a smoke should go down to block him off. And yep, that flash is enough of a signal for Tessus.
Difficult to hold your nerve when they're coming for him. Tessus right at the edge, and Stown just straight on out of there. Boomich, great opening. He's had almost no kills in this map so far, Boomich, but you can get one like that, it's fine. It makes up for it, and they're gonna have to save right away. This is not worth going for.
And there's no way out for him either, because Simple is such a mad lad. He pushes that CT smoke and confirms that Tessus had gone into construction, so they were ready for him. Had he tried to make a play through construction there, he was a dead man. That is so nuts. Simple has he's got this game sense where he's always a step ahead. It's outrageous. Because you would think, like, who else is going to push that smoke? You would think the CT player is going to hold it. No. Simple knows there's a window of opportunity here to get information. Oh, interesting. Boom was ready for that angle.
Yeah.
11 rounds on the board, Anders. This is going to start getting a little worrisome for Heroic, because this is the last place you want to be where your money is a little bit awkward on the CT side. You really do need to prioritize your money on CT side Inferno, because you need the grenades. It feels like more so than on any other map.
Yes.
CT side Inferno, you need the grenades. You need every nade you can get so that you can actually hold off places like Banana and mid and put pressure on Navi early. So if your money's a little weird and you can't afford all your grenades, that's where life gets very difficult on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it in that two-man holder B, right? If they'd had another Molotov or anything like that, could have been a big difference maker.
Without a doubt.
Electronic's got 21 kills. He's overtaken everyone in the server, including Simple. So, you know, we launched it off by saying Bit and Simple's really like the talking point, but you know, Electronic gets overlooked. He didn't like that, apparently. Doesn't want to get overlooked at all.
No. Maybe just wanting a little bit of attention.
I mean, again, it does feel like if we were playing sort of fantasy esports or something, it feels like there'd be no way you could ever afford Simple, Bit, and Electronic in the same team. Like, there'd be like a natural camp on it. Like, you can only pick like 2 out of 3. Never all 3.
Well, that's why, you know, when you do the fantasy leagues, they only let you pick 2 from the same team.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
otherwise you get Navi, and
it's just over.
It's unfair to the rest of them.
Goodbye.
It's been such a long time coming. I feel like we're all allowed to enjoy this Navi, you know, momentum that's going on in Counter-Strike, because it's been disappointing for the other 5 like preceding years, right? Like, every time Navi have been building anything, you're like, oh, and it's falling apart again, and it's not looking good. But this seems like the real deal now, so I don't mind the fact that we're sort of reveling a little bit in it. I think it's great. Cadian up here with the AWP. Could be a chance for an insane flick, and he's going to have to do it because his teammates are running away from his position right now. Does turn around for a bit of a flash. They are coming for him, and they nearly chase him down, but still alive here. Smoked off now, 25 seconds. The rest of the team starting to gravitate this way. 2 pit players are still in position over at A, so 3-man defense here. Catching the bomb. Great spray from Tessus. That is the transfer that they needed. Cadian, though, not able to get a kill with that AWP. So a 3-on-3 in the after plant. They can't stop the bomb either. They need to take a deep breath here, Heroic. Everything is riding on this round.
And that is the most amazing situation that they're able to actually cross onto the bomb site. They were out of smokes. They had to just throw themselves across bodily and hope that they could get it done. Perfecto, no way to cancel this out. And he swings for a kill. No way. That's the best case scenario for him in that situation. And now Simple, trying to hold the line, gets overwhelmed.
Oh, it really is. Bit on his own. They line up and they nearly both go down. That would have been a disaster, but Shush has got the kit. They're going to be able to win the round. And that is absolutely massive. Cadian celebrating already. I've got to say, that's a badass move for Perfecto. He even took an extra second. He's like, okay. And it's that extra second, it's not that he doesn't know what he's doing. It's that Heroic that are holding on the other side, that extra second throws them off. Because they stop pre-aiming that corner. He's like, okay, he's not there. And then he comes anyway and takes one down. Brilliant stuff.
I'm just amazed to see these kinds of reactions out of Navi, because obviously they just want to smash. They want to smash them as hard as possible. If Heroic get beaten 16-9, that would be Navi just fine with, Christmas come early. But Navi have mountains of cash in the bank right now. They shouldn't be feeling frustrated or pressured, because they know that Heroic are the ones who are just constantly on the back foot economically here. So one good round more for Navi, and you could be putting Heroic out of the fight. So I'm seeing these reactions from Simple, from Perfecto, where they're showing a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
It does make me just a little bit worried, because it's like, okay, I mean, you're still very far ahead in this game. It's not yet time to be thinking that it's over.
No, that's true. It's kind of a classic, though, isn't it? Watching them play, you see that sometimes you feel like, why the freak? Or maybe
win that bad, Anders.
Yeah, that probably is it. And I mean, again, they've reached this level, so who are we to say? Maybe that's just how they are. But you do sometimes feel like they, just get maybe a little bit more negative than they should, given the situation. Anyway, 11-10. Perfecto trying to lead into Banana. Actually, on both halves so far, there's been way less Banana bombardment. They've been taking way more sort of straight up fights. That could just be the teams. I mean, we know there are some teams that almost make an art out of throwing nades on Banana, and that's what they do a lot. But it seems like both these teams are kind of going away from that a bit.
No, what Heroic have decided to do is gather up on A site. They were expecting some kind of change in pace here from Navi. Cadian and Tessus now going to work together here on Arch. Cadian now got the angle as well. This could get nasty. Golden opportunity here for him. What a risk Cadian is taking, and he gets spotted by Simple. No way to Simple go for the jiggle peek there.
Yeah, I mean, I almost thought Simple would just come back and fight him anyway. But they're going to start to fall back 45 seconds, and they're sending Tessus over to the B bomb site. And that might have been a really good call. Electronic is there to catch any rotators, and actually that smoke is huge. If he can keep 3 people here, it's an isolated 2-1-5 in the B-bomb site. That's a disaster for Tessus and Stown, or at least it should be. Another smoke going down at 29 seconds. This is a cool round for Heroic. In terms of saving the smokes, absolutely vital. And yep, Navi, they have to go through. Good setup there, and again, it's Boomich on the entry. Alone at the back of the bomb site is Tessus, and the rest of them, I don't know if it's worth it. Electronic knows that no one is rotating through CT spawn, so if there is a retake attempt, they know exactly where Heroic are.
And this is the real beauty of it, is that Electronic, he is the hero of this round as far as Navi are concerned, because not only do they have to worry about getting pushed from Banana on the B site, but they have to worry about the flank through CT the entire time.
True.
No help from the A defense for Heroic. Electronic, just being alive there is enough. He doesn't even need to get kills. Just him being a threat means that Stouden has to constantly worry about getting shot in the back at CT, which means that he's in an awkward spot when it comes to the actual push. You can see he doesn't know which way to turn anymore. So it's just a nightmare situation. What a beautiful take here from Navi, but just Electronic staying alive.
And also another sort of inspiring round for Boomich, right? That was his 6th kill, but so far from what we've caught, 2 out of 6 have been openings on the B bomb side. Think of what a massive impact that is. If you could just do that, even if you didn't do much else in the second half or maybe in the first half, you just come through and open up a couple of rounds like that, and suddenly, you've made the difference. You've probably won the round right there.
I love it. Hey, this is tense, but that is, with 3 surviving, Heroic will be able to drop some guns here once again. It's going to be such a weird round, though. Their economy is under so much pressure right now, Heroic, and that's where you can really see them starting to try to figure out what it is that they can do in this given situation. Countdown has begun to get into the round. We're going to get the force buy. And it's just everything on the line now for Heroic. They don't even have max loss bonus to fall back on. So if they were to lose this round, Navi are going to get way too close for comfort to the finish line here on Inferno.
I mean, if the fact that they saved the 3 rifles is super important. That postpones the collapse of Heroic just a bit. But if that happens in this round or the next round even, before they have any real bank, yeah, you're right. That could be the end of the map for them almost. So saving the gun's probably a really smart move, but it doesn't make the problem go away. It just kind of postpones it a bit, and you're like, all right, now we have to try and see if we can make this work once again. Bomb is dropped really far back for Navi, so they are just out looking. But again, they make their way up to top Banana without getting bombarded to shreds here, so that's kind of interesting. Normally, if you're the entry on Banana, you expect to start the round with 30 health or 40 health.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, you're just like, all right, that's
Perfecto is definitely just loving life right now. Like, all these rounds where I've got full HP. What is going on here?
Such a rare feeling.
What's interesting is Cadian's reticence to peek mid as well, though. You know, we saw a few rounds there on that CT side for Navi where Simple just boldly peeks into mid looking for kills. We haven't really seen any kind of mid challenge coming in from Heroic, so curious to see if that's going to change at all here.
Oh, so close on both sides. But somehow they don't even connect at all. Here comes the flash setup, and I think they saw that coming as well. Electronic able to get the refrag there on refresh, which is important. Cadian, good kill. Got to be real careful about that apartments play. Yeah, I think he realized now he actually maybe could have got taken down. Bit missing the spray. It's a 4-on-3, but Simple is in Arch. He's snuck through. Weird position to be in with an AWP, and if it was anyone else, maybe you would say this is a mistake. And in Simple, he tries to go for it, but he's exactly the kind of player that could have won that fight. And then, who knows what could happen. Now, Tessus is on his own. Perfecto's got his back turned. He should probably be dead. They don't even realize. They're not going to check it, and he walks right in, executing Perfecto. Nice little... I was going to say... It looked to me like for a second Tessus kind of left his teammate, you know, in a bad spot there, but there was some method to the madness there. Bit on his own. Time has expired, and it's going to be an 11th round for Heroic. That is huge.
Yeah, and it's important that Heroic don't hunt too aggressively as well. They know that Navi have mountains of cash. These guys, Heroic, need to be the ones saving the guns because, again, Navi are getting kills, so Heroic keep having to spend money round after round here. But this was a weird one. Cadian on this kill right here on Electronic, that just changed everything. Made it so difficult for Navi to close onto the site because now you have to still deal with Cadian as well as Shush. And so, this is actually prompting another timeout called here by Navi. Boomich really getting a talking to right now from Blade.
I mean, I can understand why, because we are at a crucial junction in this game. So far, Navi have won 3 rounds in the second half, and they have not managed to string enough rounds together that they've completely crushed the Heroic economy. Just to return to that round where they saved the 3 rifles, that's why you do it. You can come back in, you win the next round following that up, and now you could start to build a bit more. Double AK, still that AWP on Cadian. They don't have a huge bank or anything to back it up with, but if they win this next round, there is a chance that they could start to return into the game a little bit more. Electronic is still up there at 23, Simple behind him at 19. And then the rest to follow it in. Bit maybe a little bit further behind than you would expect at 12 kills.
Interesting.
I'm sure he'll make it back soon.
Yeah, and it's been a while since Navi have gotten to play it as well. They did not play it at Stockholm Inferno Navi at all. So they may be a little bit rusty because going into it, the last time that they played it was a couple months ago, or IEM Fall, so the qualifier essentially, CIS. And they actually have a very strong T side if you just take a glance at the statistics. So
yeah,
right now, Navi may be feeling the rust a little bit.
Cadian trying to adjust to that, but goes down instead. Important return for Shush as he takes down Electronic. 4-on-4. They are going to put the pressure on here. Stown is gravitating over, but it's going to have to be Shush staying alive down in the pit. If he falls, that's going to be a problem. Refresh to go down. It's another opening for Boomich. He is actually doing so much for the team in the second half, even if it doesn't show on the scoreboard. Stown is going to get dropped by Perfecto, and Tessus, I don't know. Yeah, he's going to already start to back on out. He was too far away to really help out, unfortunately.
Yeah, save the AK. This is hard eco territory now for Heroic going into the next round, so nightmare fuel. This is everything that they were hoping to avoid here, Heroic.
I wonder because down in the pit where Shush is playing here, he's actually not under that much pressure because there are no Molotovs landing on him, right? He should be in a decent enough position to stay alive, and it felt like maybe Stown and Refresh, who were on the inside of the bomb site and Arch, they were almost swinging or taking too many fights, given the fact that their teammate in pit was still alive. I feel like maybe that was a slight mistake in that defense, perhaps. If he's getting Molotov and grenaded down, maybe you have to sort of swing to try and help him out because he's going to have to escape all the nades. But I felt like he could have just stuck down behind the wall, and then they would have had a really good crossfire.
Just feels like you have to make plays, right? That's also the pressure that happens when Navi are pushing up onto the site and you're not necessarily getting kills. At some point, you feel like you have to react. You have to do something. And Navi are ready for that sort of thing, right? They're hoping that if they're just going to hold angles, you're going to peek into those crosshairs. And so this time around, Heroic get forced into an awkward spot. and it doesn't work out for him one bit. Tessus has held on to his AK, and you can see him trying to get proactive here, trying to find somebody. Oh, yeah, if you push in there, this is going to be bad times. Electronic, he's got the angle, but it's a hard eco essentially for the rest of Heroic, so golden opportunity here for Navi.
He didn't see it. It looked like maybe he would have. Nades are coming out, and they're going to catch that AK. Good move.
And they've been very consistent with the mollies and HEs towards Boiler as well, Navi. So
yeah.
Not sure if Tessus had picked up on that at all or not, but that wasn't a great place to be standing at that point.
Look how he took his anger out on the radio to follow it up with.
How dare you?
Playing the wrong tunes, perhaps. It's not interested.
It's like that gym music, right? You got the wrong vibes, you got the wrong tunes going. Yeah. Can't get into the flow. Right now, I mean, Navi are the ones who are just a little bit light on nades, but we're down to 45 seconds. They have enough to execute.
I mean, this is essentially a one round from Navi. There's not much that they could do. The Deagle for Cadian, it's an amazing moment for a highlight Cadian clip here, but I'd say it's a 1 in 1,000 that he could get more than the single kill. Perfecto definitely could have gone down, but he's going to manage to duck under the second shot, and it will be 14 on the board for Navi. They can go. I don't know if Navi managed to steal the AK away. Did they
didn't
throw it away somewhere?
So the AK is there for sure to pick up.
Right. That's good news.
Yeah, they have that at least to go off of. It's just still crazy that Navi and an anti-eco will still take. It's just, you know, Heroic are a team that will play a little bit faster pace. They can show that they'll go for some explosive rounds. Navi, I'm wondering if now we're going to get an explosive round because it's been such very slow rounds. We've seen a lot of rounds go almost the distance before the bomb gets planted. And that is Navi's style, but that kind of conditioning also sets your opponents up to expect it. And so the question is, where do you decide to throw in a fast-paced round to shake things up? And so that is always an option for Navi. It's just that right now, it's a question of whether or not Heroic are expecting it. 5 rounds now picked up on this T side here for Navi.
We talked about the early lean towards the B-bomb side that people sometimes do. I mean, if Navi try and throw in one of those really fast rounds, just essentially attacking the quad side of A, that could be really fun, right? That could be one of those. You might, like you said, you have the double surprise of doing it early, and the fact that you normally don't play that way, but also the fact that Heroic, like any other team that plays Inferno right now on the CT side, sometimes we'll just put 3 or even 4 people at the B-bomb side in the first 20 seconds of the round, and then they start to fall back. So, yeah, that could actually be... I mean, they're going to have to do it soon, right? 26th round. It feels like we've pushed into a territory now for Heroic where, in order to make a comeback, they would need they'd need a slight miracle here, because the economy is now no longer on their side at all. They need a mad round here where that AK or a Deagle or something goes out of control and brings them back into it.
I just love the level of preparation that Blade brings to it, right? You see the difference. He's got his notes rolled up. Blade, he's paging through page 15, paragraph 4, checking out. This is what's going to happen in this given situation. I love it.
Giant flow chart of like...
Yeah, this is, I mean... point A to point B, and again, Heroic, not a whole lot of nades, so there's an opportunity here for Navi to play aggressive, and you can see them using quite a bit of utility themselves to put the pressure on the Danes. That's how you're supposed to do it. If you think that your opponents are light on nades, commit some of yours at the beginning, because each of those nades for Heroic right now is worth its weight in gold.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, and if you leave them alone, yeah, they're going to be incentivized.
They're going to hold on to them.
They hold on, yeah, they don't do anything. They have 3 smokes and a couple of flashbangs to follow it up with here on the Heroic side. And you're right to keep an eye on that, because that could be what settles this. 3-man setup at the B-bomb site. Say that's another huge gamble. Cadian and Shush on their own. I don't know. I mean, I said earlier, if you double up in apartments, that could be a way to do it. I feel like the way that they're playing it now, it's so unlikely that you can make this crossfire work against 5 people.
Can they get the... I mean, if they were going to go for the pop, it's not looking like it, though. Presence shown in mid. 50 seconds left. This could mean anything as far as Heroic are concerned.
And now the defense is quite literally just each man to his own here. Cadians have to win the fights. Shush will have to win the fights. They can't really easily help each other out. And the B rotation is not happening at all. Oh, this is almost impossible to win. Good flashbang. What? Where were the bullets? What is going on? That's a 15th round for Navi. I can't understand what just happened. It looked to me like he ran out of bullets, but he hadn't been in a fight, so there's no way. Did he just Did he just accidentally switch out of the gun? Am I crazy?
You different conversation, but but that is really questionable considering Shush actually tried. Didn't he try to set that up as well?
He did. Yeah, I mean, he flashed his teammate in. It was really cool. Great flashbang, perfect timing. I mean, he was dead 100% of the time there. But then, I don't know.
It's just you don't have the utility to use in a Navi, actually. I mean, it's just heroic going for 3 on B. Just a gamble, essentially, hoping that the Navi were going to continue trying to hit the B site, which they've done a lot this half. Unfortunately for them, it works. It doesn't work out at all. Refresh has to fight his way out, and he gets 2 kills. Take Simple Electronic. Well, Navi have mountains of cash, so again, they're not worried about re-upping, but that was so important that Refresh survives the round, because now, going into this last round, at least Heroic will have rifles. But let's see. What happened there?
Feels like he swapped out the gun.
Bullets? No, I think he literally ran out of bullets.
But did he just not? Did he forget? Did he spray at the beginning and forgot to reload or something?
It must have been something like that, because it just looked like he was holding mouse 1 and nothing was coming out. No way that happens.
Madness.
And again, Navi, right here, you're just thinking, okay, get a few nades out there, make Heroic uncomfortable, force them to use their nades at the beginning.
So Max, our superstar video editor and UVS operator, managed to pick it up. He did run out of bullets. So that's a shocking, unforced error, as you like to say sometimes. 15-11. Heroic need 4 in a row, and Navi do not want to give it to them either. Refresh, winning that fight. Cadian running madly down the middle, and Boomich finds him through the smoke. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Bit missed opportunity there. Maybe could have resulted in a kill on Refresh. He just needed to land 1 bullet. Unfortunately, all this pressure means Shush is on his own. Flashes are there. He tries to... I mean, he actually does a great job dodging the flashbang, but he could not dodge the bullets. It's another opening for Boomich here. I really am impressed with the amount of kills early in these rounds that Boomich have got in the second half. It's made a massive difference. It doesn't show on the scoreboard, but we should highlight it anyway. 3 on 3 to try and hold on to this map here. Navi, they've got a grip on it. They do not want to let it go. Retake is coming in from middle, all of them from this quad side, but they don't know about Boomich. He is walking up behind them in the boiler room, and here he comes. The lineup is there. It's a double kill at the end for Boomich, and it's 16-11 for Navi as they bring down Heroic on Inferno. That is a